Welcome to Banahene Tutorial Collections in this Microsoft Excel tutorial, and in this video I'm going to share with you 10 Excel features you need to have knowledge about it, and that is going to help you in the betterment of Microsoft Excel worksheet. And I'm going to share these features with you, and I also urge you to stick to the end of this video because I have one bonus I'm going to share with you which is going to help you and also protect your eye from eye irritation. So without any further ado, let's dive in and explore these 10 features in Microsoft Excel. Now, the first on my list is the number of worksheets that is available whenever you open Microsoft Excel for the first time. Now, in this current Excel worksheet, when you move to the Sheets tab, I have all these worksheets available. And these are manual created worksheets which I have renamed them, and I have my available data involved. Now, when I hold Ctrl+N, or if I move to File, and then in the Home command or in the New command, you can choose Blank Workbook. Now, this is a blank workbook, and when you move to the Sheets tab, I have only one worksheet available. This tells you that this is a customized operation. Now, in the normal view or in the normal operation of Microsoft Excel, whenever you access a new workbook, the available worksheets that you see might be 3 worksheets, which is Sheet 1, Sheet 2, and Sheet 3. But in this case, I have only one worksheet. This is because I have customized this particular worksheet on this Sheet tab. So let's assume that you want to customize the number of worksheets on your Sheet tab to be 4, 5, 3, 7, or any number that you want. Then this is the tip I'm going to share with you. So to do this, you move to the File menu, then you move to Options. Now, when you get to this beautiful dialog box, which is the Excel Options dialog box, you make sure that General is selected. And when General is selected, you move to this interface that relates to the General option. Now, when you get to this interface, we have this section here which is when creating new workbooks, and then in this creating new workbooks we have the default font, which is body font, as you can see here, and also we have font size, and we have normal view, and the last option you see here is include this mini worksheet, and this is set to 1. Why? Because when I open this workbook, you can see that I had only one worksheet here, which is this particular worksheet. So this is because I set up this area to 1. That is why when I open a new workbook, I have only one worksheet open on the Sheets tab. So if you want to change the number of worksheets that is available, then what you have to do is to get to this field. You can use the up and the down arrows to change the number of worksheets that should be available. So if I set this to 5, and then click on OK, you can also change the font size, you can change the body font, you can customize this area. But in this case, I am showing you the number of worksheets you can set up on your Sheets tab. So I'm going to set this to 5 and click on OK. Now, when you get to this interface, we still have one worksheet. But if I hold Ctrl+N on the keyboard, when we get to this interface, we have 5 worksheets displayed on the Sheets tab. So you can see that I have Sheet 1, Sheet 2, Sheet 3, Sheet 4, and Sheet 5. So this is how to customize the number of worksheets you want to have in your current workbook or your new created workbook. So you have to set this up before you create a workbook in Microsoft Excel. Now we are moving to the next operation or the next hidden feature, which is how to color your worksheet. Now when you select any of these worksheets, this is the font given to it. This is the background color given to it, which is white. So if you want to change the color of a particular worksheet, which is going to match the data that is available, then what you have to do is to right click on the worksheet, then you choose tab color, and you have this colors of palette. You can choose any of the colors, and when you select another worksheet, this gives a color to this particular worksheet. Select, right click, tab color, and choose this option. Select. So you can see that I am coloring this worksheet so that this will be very easy to identify and also notice the data that is available in that particular worksheet. So this is how to color your worksheet in Microsoft Excel. Now the next on my list is to create a simple drop down list in Microsoft Excel. In this case, I'm going to maximize this worksheet. Now let's assume that I'm going to have some headings here. Now when you share this data or this Excel workbook to some employees or some colleagues for them to fill down this information based on the column headers, they might type their name, their class, their age, and this is going to provide you the data that you want. But in this case, you might have some errors or some spelling errors when it comes to typing this particular data, because this is not similar to Microsoft Word where you're going to have automatic correction to your spelling errors. So what you have to do is to create a drop down list and have the names and the class, the age involved. So when you give them this worksheet or this workbook, what they have to do is to choose from the list of the option. So how do we create a drop down list in Microsoft Excel? You select the cell in which you want to have this drop down list, move to the data tab, and then in this data tab we have data validation. Click. You have this option that says allow. We have any value. Click on this arrow and choose list. And then we have this source field where you can input the name. Now when you are typing the data you want to have in the drop down list, make sure you separate it with a comma but no spaces, and when you're done you click on OK. Now when you get back to your worksheet and click on the cell, you can see that this is the arrow we have there. When you click, you have the list available. When this data or this worksheet is given out, the only thing that they have to do is to click and choose this, just to choose the name, and that is all. And you can apply this to this by typing the class, the age, and this is of reference to you. So I'm just illustrating this to you so that you get the understanding, and apply this to the class and any column header that you have. If you want to have the accurate information given out, then drop down becomes a perfect option. In this case, you can even ignore them typing a different name. Now I type Kelvin in this cell, and this tells me that this value does not match the data validation restrictions defined for this cell. So it means that you can't choose or type a different name. The only thing that you have to do is to choose from the list. That is, this is meant for accurate information. So the next on my list is switching between different kinds of workbooks. Now this is a current workbook which has the name as book 3. Now in this book 3, if I want to switch to another workbook, I need not to go to the taskbar or close this particular workbook. I can use Ctrl and the tab key, and this moves me to the next workbook. Next. So I am switching between the opened workbooks on this computer system using the Ctrl key and the tab key. And this is a simple trick you should have on your fingertips to help you in the easy way of operating in Microsoft Excel. The next on my list is how to reveal all worksheets you have on your Sheets tab. In this current worksheet, if I place the pointer on this section on the Sheets tab and right click, this provides me the Activate window, and this Activate window will provide all the worksheets you have in this particular workbook. So you can see that I have all these worksheets, and this helps you to jump to different worksheets in an easy way, especially if you have a lot of worksheets created in a particular or a single workbook. If I select this and choose OK, this is going to jump me to that particular worksheet. So this is how to reveal all worksheets in Microsoft Excel. The next on my list is how to password protect a worksheet. Now in this worksheet, you can delete, you can type a new value, and this is editable. So what you have to do is you need to protect this worksheet from other users interrupting your data. And to do this, I'm going to right click on the worksheet, and I have protect sheet. This gives you the protect sheet dialog box, and you have the option to input a password. You also have the option to check the options that can be available when they get access to the worksheet. So in this case, they said select boxes. I can uncheck, select unlocked cells, And now when you have all this on check, you can click on OK. Now if you select cell in this worksheet, you try to delete something, this do not allow you, and you don't even have the option to select other cells. This is because this was the current cell I selected when I was deleting. That is why this has this border around this particular cell. So apart from this cell, there's no cell you can select, and even you don't have the option to select these cells. And when you try to move that particular cell, it tells you that the cell or chart you are trying to change is on a protected sheet. So this is how to protect a worksheet to prevent other users from interrupting or destroying your data, which is well organized. So this is how to password protect a worksheet. Now whenever you open a workbook and you have your worksheet activated, you see all these cells. Let me unprotect this. Right click, go to protect. Now when you select a cell, you can see that we have all these vertical and horizontal lines which are meeting to form a cells, and these are grid lines that you see, and this helps you to see what cell that you have selected. Now when you move to the view tab, we have the option to ignore the grid lines, and that is to deactivate the grid lines so that you don't see these lines available. So when I choose this, now I have this white area that you see, but still when you select a cell, it is being selected, and that shows you that there is a green border around that cell, and that tells you this is the active cell. Therefore you have the option to select your cell and apply your own border to it by going to the home tab, and then we have this border, and you can choose all borders, and this applies your customized borders to this particular cells. You can also ignore this and choose and use the default grid lines in Microsoft Excel. But in this case, I'm showing you how to deactivate the grid lines in Microsoft Excel so that you can apply your own border to your cells. So this is how to deactivate the grid lines in Microsoft Excel. The next on my list is how to use the upper function in Microsoft Excel. I was in my office when my boss came and told me that these names that I have here, I should change all of them into uppercase. And if I'm not good at Excel, it means I'm going to look up to the name and type them manually using the uppercase letters. That is to turn on my caps lock and start typing. And I am going to do this for all these names, and that is going to take much time. So this is where the upper function comes in handy. So if you have some data and you are prompted to change the lowercase of a data to uppercase, then you can use the upper function. So we are going to type the equal to symbol. Then you type the upper function, press the tab key, and then we need the text. By selecting this, press enter. Now this has changed this to uppercase. Therefore double click, and you're going to have all the names also changed to uppercase. So we have converted this sentence case to uppercase in an easy way using the upper function. You can select and customize this by changing the font type, the font color, the font size, by changing the font type. So I'm going to change this Times New Roman, and also change the font size to 12. You can bold it to suit your preference. So this is how to change a lowercase to uppercase using the upper function. Now the next on my list is the format painter. Now when you look at this formatting that we have here, if I want to apply the same formatting to these texts, I can select, click on the format painter, and drag over all these texts, and the formatting that we have for these texts will be applied to your selected text. So this is the power of format painter. So the power of format painter is when you have a specific formatting applied to a selected data and you want to implement that to a different data, then the format painter becomes a powerful tool you can use. Now the next on my list is how to adjust your column headers at once. Now in this worksheet, let's assume that I have this squeeze like this, and I want to adjust these column headers to suit the data that is available. What you can do is to move to the name box, and below the name box we have this right angle triangle icon, as you can see here. And when you click on it, this is going to select all the cells or the columns in Microsoft Excel. Then you place your pointer on any of these separators and double click. This is going to adjust your column headers to suit the data that is available. So you can see that this data are fit in their individual columns. Now, I promise you in the beginning of this video that I am going to showcase you a simple bonus tip, and that is going to prevent your eyes from eye strain or eye irritation. So in this current workbook, we have this brightness that is coming from this open workbook, and that is the reflection, the contrast that you see. And if you want to change this theme, this is called a theme in Microsoft Office programs. This is called a theme. Now, if you want to change this theme to black or gray color to prevent the light that is going to enter into your eyes, then what you can do is to move to File, then you choose Account. Now in Account we have Office Theme. Click on the drop down arrow, and we are going to ignore the system setting, and I'm going to choose black. And when you choose black and get back to your interface, now you have this theme applied to your workbook that is opened. So we have only this worksheet being white. You can also change the color of the worksheet as well, but in this case I am showing you how to change the theme. So you can also go back you can also change this to the gray color. So based on your preference and also your eye sightedness, you can choose any of this theme to modify or personalize your theme of your current workbook. So these are the hidden features I want to share with you in this video, and I hope you like this video. Please comment, share, and also subscribe for more content on this particular channel. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.